So here it is told that f is a function which maps from R to R. So be the signum function, which is defined as f of x equals to 1 if x is greater than 0, and it is 0 if x is equal to 0, and it is equal to -1 if x is less than 0. And g also g also maps from R to R, be the greatest integer function, which is defined as g of x equals to bracket x. So where bracket x is the greatest integer less than or equal to x, greatest integer which is less than or equal to x. So then we have to find if the composite function f of g and g of f coincide in the interval 0 to 1. So we have to find if f of g is equal to g of f or not in the interval open interval 0 to closed interval 1. So it is a semi-closed interval actually. It is from 0 to 1. 1 is included and 0 is excluded. So now, therefore, f of g of x, so that will be equal to f of g of x. So now, in the interval 0 to 1, it is told. So now, first we should find in the interval 0 to 1, open interval. So here f of g of x, so that will be so less than 1. So less than 1, that will be g of, so bracket of x will be 0 only for x belongs to in the open interval 0 to 1. So that will be f of 0. So that will be, so here f of 0, that is 0, and slightly more than 0 if we take, that will be 1, and slightly less than 0, that will be -1. So f of 0, that will be 0. And g of f of x, so that will be g of f of x. So from 0 to 1, so that is greater than 0, so that will be g of 1. So greater than 0, that is, so 1, so g of 1. So g of 1 means that is bracket of 1, that is equal to 1 for x equal to 1, so which is g of 1. So this is g of x for x from 0 to 1, that is 0, and g of 1 is 1, so that is equal to 1. So therefore f of g is not equal to g of f in the interval 0 to 1. And also I can say in the when x is equal to 1 exactly, then what will happen? So then f of g of 1, so that will be f of g of 1. So g of 1 is 1, so that is f of 1. So 1 is greater than 0, so that will be 1. And g of f of 1, so that will be g of f of 1. So f of 1, that is greater than 0, that is 1. So g of 1, that is also 1. So therefore f of g of f, that is equal to exactly, that is equal to f of g, that is equal to f of g when x is equal to 1. But g of f is not equal to f of g when sorry, here I should write open interval 0 to 1. Open interval 0 to 1. So if we take the entire interval, then only at x equal to 1, the two composite functions are coinciding. But in the open interval 0 to 1, the two composite functions f of g and g of f are not coinciding. So therefore I will tell that therefore g of f and f of g they do not coincide. Of g, the composite functions do not coincide in the interval 0 to 1. So hope you have understood the concept. Thank you.